Bom dia, I'm Anthony here from expatsportugal.com with the Good Morning Portugal live stream. Do you ever wonder about those people in that video, where they are now, whether the people in the tram got to the top and where they looked around Lisbon? And the other, because I did ask, didn't I, a couple of, or a few days ago, maybe a week or two ago now, how many of the scenes, the vignettes in that video can you recognize? Nobody has taken a chance at that and had a guess to let me know where each individual scene is. So maybe the keenest students, you know who you are, might like to have a go at that. But I suspect Eusebio will. And maybe you're too busy as well learning your Portuguese. I see many of our wonderful folks are already here this morning. Deagle, Thunder, Victoria's here, Eusebio, of course, the Prof. And who else is here? Jim and Gemini all gathered and ready to later on hear about insurance, the detail, getting a deeper dive into the detail of Portuguese insurance. Nuno, our wonderful friend and our favorite scoutmaster with us from Winsurance after 9 o'clock, after the whistling. And had a little bit of feedback about the whistling. It's a bit noisy for some people in America, I understand, when you're trying to get to sleep at night, and they prefer the jazzy sounds of the Feel Good Portugal on a Saturday night. But yeah, first lot of criticism I've heard for the whistling theme tune. Perfect to put a spring in your footsteps of a weekday morning, which is where we use it, not in anger, but in a gesture to spread the enthusiasm and love of Portugal, which is what this is all about. Love of Portugal. We do take the occasional digression, don't we? Like we did on a couple of days in this last week, talking about the more heated subjects around. And, you know, not averse to doing that, but also wanting to get the balance right. So you let me know if the balance is right, won't you? Excellent news just in. Look at this. Received my residency card yesterday. What? 2 weeks after my CEF appointment. So well done, Victoria. That's fantastic news. I bet that feels really good, doesn't it, to have that in your hand there. Love the whistling GMP theme as well. Maybe you were whistling that as soon as you opened the mail or picked up your residency card. We're already insurance questions coming in. This is fantastic. Nuno, by the way, is already here and tuned in and may well respond to comments in the chat. I'd like to know the best option for private health insurance for a couple 66 and 62. Who are you talking about, Thunder? Surely not. We currently have Medis, and the option for 66 doesn't cover much. Okay, so Nuno's probably hearing that right away and thinking about what he can do. We're going to go into some of the small print because that's what insurance. Well, it seems to me he may disabuse me of that notion, but it seems it's all about the small print, and he'll be helping us understand the small print of Portuguese insurance after 9 o'clock. And you know what? He's also going to hang around after the show or after his appearance, and you can give him a call. He'll give out his details, and he'll be there to talk to you if you want to take it further, as it were. He's here. Look, good morning from Nuno Mendes in the comments there. He'll join us after 9, everybody. Looking ahead, actually, as well to what's coming and the rest of the week. We, of course, this week have our extremely popular supermarket shopping webinar. Now, for me, I just go to the supermarket and buy things, and the receipt gets crumpled up and often left in the bottom of the bag. You know, I'll often find many receipts from other shopping trips in there. I don't come home, or I don't open up a spreadsheet and check it against my budget. I know I should as a responsible grown-up. But for those of you who like that sort of thing and want to know what you're up against, then why wouldn't you on your way here to Portugal? The supermarket shopping cost of living in Portugal special happens again with a great presentation that we have shared previously, now updated, probably with a few festive twists as well, I suspect. And what's been great is that you can book into that. You know where to go, don't you? On the expatsportugal.com website, click on webinars coming up, and you'll be able to book yourself in there. And of course, if you're a premium member, you'll be able to get VIP on that and push your way to the front of the queue there and assure your place. But what was I going to say before I just interrupted myself with all of that? I can't remember now. But oh yes, I do remember now. We have had some lovely photographs in. Thank you, Lisa, for sending photographs in from your local farmers market, which looks fantastic, I have to say. Similar markets available here, not quite in the same style as the United States. They're a lot more sort of rustic and straightforward, I think. and look like the same thing has been going on in Portuguese markets for decades. Nothing wrong with that. But certainly not the attention to marketing that you might see in the United States, as you might imagine in the United States. But thank you for the heads up on the sort of things you would like to buy. So any more suggestions or questions about what you're concerned about not being able to buy or the price thereof, send them to me. You see my email address there, carl@expatsportugal.com. And we'll get our heads together and get a cracking presentation and set of information together for you for Thursday night for that supermarket shopping special there. Okay, Justice, if you're watching, I do know that you like a supermarket trolley. Do you think we should do a little bit of a review of Portuguese supermarket trolleys, the etiquette, the cost, and suspension, those sorts of issues when it comes to supermarket trolleys? I'm enjoying your work, Justice Hayes. Okay, into the comments then before we take a look at the weather and the news. A lot of news I would like to touch upon and maybe be persuaded to look into some of the articles there, but a really good spread of interesting articles this morning. So, some positive, some not so. And I will be guided by you, and I'm interested to hear your comments on all of that. So Deagle's here from a Belfast that is being barra battered at the moment and is blustery. Forgot that B on that alliteration there. So blustery Belfast store, barra battering us in Belfast. 15 minutes completed during a Christmas song, Light Up Christmas. And this is the Christmas song that he is so diligently applying himself to. This is fantastic. And maybe you want to screenshot this now, everybody, so you can do the same. If I take the comment away from Deagle, from you for just a moment, Deagle, look at that. A Christmas song in Portuguese. In Portuguese. So please do a screenshot or make friends with Deagle. And maybe we should all learn that and sing it at the Christmas party. Maybe we shouldn't. Is another possibility. But great for learning your Portuguese, obviously. And another way of learning your Portuguese is to buy a children's book. And you can pretend it's for a member of the family in the bookshop, can't you? But this is a good one, it would seem. A Quinta. Which is James Holly's reference guide at the moment, and he'll look back on this with fond memories, I'm sure, when he's extremely competent. I would say I'm going to rate him higher than I think he would himself, but I think he's showing a great level of competency and confidence with his Portuguese out on the streets. I know he's doing his 15 minutes a day, his 15 minutos, and largely, I think in part his confidence and his vocabulary coming from A Quinta, this lovely children's book here. Now, take another screenshot of this, if you will, folks. Dicionário por imagens dos pequeninos here. So why not take a screenshot of that front page there from Fleuris Books, and then we'll reconvene in the next few days and we'll see who got the words right for these respective creatures here on the cover. How about that? Screenshot, if you will, or again, make friends with James and get your own copy. Get your own copy of the book. There's his reference guide, and we'll hear a little bit more about that in just a moment, I'm sure. Already 10 minutes in, not a single bit of weather or news done, but we've got to say hello. Bon dia, kids from Victoria, and bon dia, Alegria from Thunder as well, who had that insurance question. So, James, yes, dura 15 minutos ontem e 10 minutos até agora hoje. That's his pattern. And that's why he's doing so well. And if we go to A Quinta, esta manhã do bairro do Senhor Oli, La Quinta. As cabras vivem liberdade na montanha. A cabra adora comer folhas de árvores. So there you go. There's a happy goat on a mountain eating plenty of grass. Over there, the goats live freely on the mountains is the translation. The goat loves to eat leaves from the trees. So there you go. Bon dia, campistas from Eusebio with the legendary guitarist, and he may well remind us who that guitarist is, because it slipped my mind since yesterday. Quite a lot goes through my mind, in the 24. You might not think so, but quite a lot happens. Sure, it's the same for all of us, isn't it? Can you imagine the computing power that is required to structure and hold and contemplate all the things that go in our minds between the two times we see each other, from morning to morning? It's quite incredible, isn't it? And part of it is not retaining the information that would tell you who that guitarist is that Eusebio is illustrating there. And I would say once we have found out, let us go to Spotify and hear some of his work. Because again, if you hear some of the best Portuguese music, you'll be in touch with the Portuguese soul. Of course, that's the way it works with music, isn't it? And there you'll be enriching yourself culturally as far as your Portuguese education goes. But a bom dia campistas from Eusebio, the prof, and it's a dib dob to Nuno, who is busily working away there, being prepared, obviously, for his 9 o'clock appearance. Jack Polly is here as well. What a coincidence. Nuno is on the show. We're going to look at a car in Lisbon later this week and had planned to email Nuno this morning about the insurance. Good morning, Nuno. Book a place with him. He can talk to you about that after the show, personally, one-to-one, if you like. James Goodman responded to that. That was we have a little chat, some of us, before the show even starts. There are people chatting on YouTube. A good reason to be a YouTube member rather than watch it on Facebook. But I'm slowly slipping back into featuring us on Facebook more and more. Today in Portuguese history, number 1, 1975, East Timor, formerly Portuguese Timor, is violently annexed by Suharto's Indonesia in what it claimed was an attempt to stop communism in the region. And in the history of Portugal, part 2, we go to 1924, where Mario Soares was born, the first Prime Minister of the Third Republic, did 2 terms, and was the 17th President of Portugal. Good morning, Gumpers. Thank you for those, Prof. Good morning, Gumpers, from Suze and Taxi. A little bit chilly yesterday, wasn't it, on Taxi's feet? How are Taxi's feet? Did you massage them and wrap him up in a towel? My Portuguese patients will have to start now. Oh, she says impatiently, Finnish residency won't get me there yet. Best option is to get Finn benefits and EU membership before moving. Absolutely right. If you can make the acquaintance of a European government, part of the EU, of course, who are currently the European Union bazookaing Portugal, as I see in the news, bazookaing some of Portugal's national institutions and telling them to buck their ideas up with the threat of holding back money. I think it's a bit it's more stick and stick rather than carrot and stick. Carrot, of course, is the money, and the EU giving the Portuguese government a bit of stick about how some of the institutions operate. We may touch on that in the news, but yeah, that's a good way, Suze. And yes, you may have to be patient because it takes time, doesn't it? No way of hacking or cheating that. Bon dia alegria from Francis in South Africa. Citizen card with my beautiful moustache in hand. You must be thinking, why? We know why. It was a good cause. Small wins every day. Hope you're all having a great Tuesday. Cheers, Francis. And today in Portuguese history 3, 2002, the Metro de Porto, the mass transit system of Porto, starts operating. I love these, Prof. Please keep them coming. They're so fantastic. Bon dia, Gumpers, from a cloudy and cold Wiesbaden, Germany. And a good morning, everybody, from Gemini as well. Okay, fantastic. Kings Minuj from Francis. Well done, mate, on that. And Gompistas sounds like a revolutionary movement who will one day reinstate Heron as El Presidente. I was thinking, who's Heron? Not Perron, but Heron. Miguel Heron. Should we call him that from here on in? Because that sounds so much more fitting to a revolutionary leader, doesn't it? Miguel Heron. No, I say. Suze, congrats to Victoria. Yeah, absolutely, Victoria. It's brilliant news. And Catherine Nichols is here as well. Good morning. Love your sparkly picture there, Catherine. Great to have you here this morning. And now to figure out how to change my address on the Finances website. She's going in, everybody. Wish her luck, both sorts with that. That can be challenging. Food prices seem to be a third of the cost in Finland. Wow, because Portuguese food prices have risen quite dramatically, I think, in the last 10 years. But that's good to know, isn't it? They're a third of the cost in Finland. It's all about the distribution, isn't it, in the Scandinavian countries, I suspect, and having to import quite a lot. Bon dia from Pamela as well. Good morning, Pam. How's Alcabasa this morning? And Eusebio, you're a pistol. Have you ever been called that before? Jacqueline Brown is here as well this morning. Good morning. Looking forward to hearing more from Nuno. Such an interesting man. He so is, with many sides other than the insurance lifestyle. Much to learn from Nuno, of course. Thank you for pointing that out, Jacqueline. Good morning to you. Bon dia, Aldri from Australia. Look at this. Michelle's here as well. Where can we purchase the book, please? Now, that's a great question. Best Portuguese bookshop. In your experience, book is nearly 20 years old. Did you borrow it from a library, or was it published 20 years ago? Or was it in the bookshelf of your housemates? How did you, if you care to say, James, how did you come upon it? It sounds like you didn't buy it new from a bookshop, but it looks like it might be a classic that's still available. Bon dia all from Peter DeVos this morning. Hey, Peter, how are you? What are you up to? Gary Orgles, the same to you. What are you up to, Gary Orgles? Bon dia to everyone from a cold UK. And hi, Jacqueline. How are you and Chris doing? I think that's to Jack Polly, that one, isn't it? In the way of Islam, assalamu alaikum. Alaikum salam. How are you? I hope you are well by the infinite mercy of Allah. Portugal work visa, when people will start taking. I am from Bangladesh. I don't know. You have to be here on a Monday. ITWOOI. Please join us on a Monday, or just get straight in touch with EI on that. I can't answer that myself. I wouldn't dare. Carlos Pereira, but thanks for joining us this morning. Try Verdes Anos as your quintessential taster. Okay, there you go. So the guitarist is Carlos Pereira. Try Verdes Anos, the green years, right? Now, why is that not Anos Verdes rather than Verdes Anos as your quintessential taster? Thank you for that. So maybe if you get sick of hearing my voice, hard to imagine, honestly, you could have just watched the blah, 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 and look at the comments whilst listening to Carlos Pereira. How about that? Jack Polly, something for everybody here. Morning, Vic. Great. Thanks. Enjoy meeting you. Hope you are well. Look forward to seeing you more in March. How lovely. People meeting each other offline as well. That's fantastic. That's what it's all about. Bon dia from a cloudy Porto. Lonnie there with his beautiful azulejos behind him. How are you, mate, this morning? And Finland joined the EU in the early 95. Same time as Sweden and Austria. Yes, it's the housemates book. There are at least 10 more for increasingly older children, which is what you virtually are, James, of course. And is it the last day? No, he did his last day. This is the first day of preparations, of effective preparations for change. No more work. Não mais trabalho, apenas coisas relacionadas com a mudança. So a big change for Matty. Morning to you, mate. And all the best in you. How exciting over there in Amsterdam. Cindy B's here. Oh, Cindy, did you get my email? I found an email from you that was in my junk folder. So disappointing. And whenever I see that, I think, oh, people must think me so rude. I mean, some people think that anyway. But you have reason, don't you, when you send an email to someone and they don't mention or refer to anything you've talked about. And then you discover, as I hope you will forgive me, knowing that that lovely email you sent me with a beautiful picture of you and your pooch as well, was buried in the junk for months since September. And I only responded and wrote to you last night, so forgive me. Hola, bon dia, alegria from the beautiful Burg of San Martinho de Porto. Good morning to you, Cindy B. Cindy, please let us know the dates of the solos meetups on Zoom. So you've got the living room, haven't you? Which is a little bit more exclusive, and the solos as well, because it's a phenomenon, I tell you. So many people, so many women moving alone from America. And this is a lovely, lovely network and service that Jacqueline Brown, you might wish to be. Look at my little curl. You might be wish to be aware of, because I know you have support for single ladies, solo ladies moving from America or from anywhere in the world for that matter. So definitely, Cindy B, you need to know Jacqueline Brown as well, I would say. Magdalena Hansma, bon dia. March 2022 move on target. Can't wait. Well done, Magdalena. Anything we can do to help you in the meantime. And Marcus Valbo, I haven't seen you for a while, mate. Bon dia, Carl. Do you know about the Borough Depression? It's going to be one of my news things, which I should go to quickly. So cold. The weather, though, from Finland. Car won't start. The Webasto auxiliary heater not working. Well, that's very specific. Walk to the store in -10, ask for a taxi back, none available. So 5-kilometer hike all told. It's like a Monty Python sketch. It was so cold. We grew up in Finland in -10, and we had to walk to the store and back home again because there were no taxis in them days. No expat friends to call for help. I need a jump. Oh dear. Okay, well, how can we help with that? To ACP cover Finland, Jerry. And translation from Matty. Today is my first day of actually preparing for the move. No more work. No more days of work. No more days of sorrow. No more days of that old dump. And I'll be in Portugal tomorrow in the metaphorical sense. Only moving related stuff. So great. Fantastic. Okay, come on then. Let's do this weather, shall we? I think Nuno's having a bit of trouble with his camera. We'll find out in a little while. 9 o'clock. Nuno Mendes is here from Winsurance. And let me share with you the weather page. Do that very quickly and then touch upon the news. We may return to it. But in the balance of greeting you and reading your comments or reading the news, I do go with greeting and chatting, don't I? It would appear. So that weather, where is it? Oh, here it is. Let's bring that onto the screen right now, shall we? And share with you what's going on in the capital. Sorry, Jack, I can't blow this up any bigger. You're going to have to get a bigger telly or laptop or something, or a magnifying glass. You know, if it was good enough for our grandparents, why not good enough for us? A nice big magnifying glass to have over the mobile phone. What a good look that is. Okay, Lisbon this morning. We'll come back to the provinces a little bit later on, take you on our weather tour around Portugal. Well, Lisbon, 17-degree high, 13-degree low today. And Barra seemed to be making its presence felt. A few rainy days ahead, I would say, at least a couple in Lisbon. That's 57 currently, 63 the high, 55 the low. In Lisbon, in Porto, that rain continuing for the rest of the weekend into Saturday. Sunny day promised for Sunday, though. 15 the high, 11 the low. In Porto for you, Lonnie. Coimbra, 16-degree high, rainy there too for the rest of the week. It would look like 16-degree high, 11-degree low. And in Faro, the sun shining on the righteous, 17-degree high, 9-degree low. A couple of days of rain, though. There will be rain today by the look of it, but a beautiful week or end of week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Look at that. It's 3 days of straight sunshine. Let's go into the and more, I call them, the areas you don't hear so much about. Bragança and Guarda, 10 degrees and overcast at the moment in Bragança. 12 degrees will be the high there, 5 the low, and a few days of rain up in the north there. Sunny Sunday and going into next week as Barra, as we see the back of Barra. Not Barra, the place near Aveiro, not the beach of Aveiro, but Barra, the weather depression. And Guarda, 8 degrees and overcast as well. 10 degrees the high today there, with a 4-degree low and days of rain in Guarda, northerly, of course, as well. So we'll look at Porto Alegre and Setúbal tomorrow. That's enough for your weather for now. Let's have a quick look at the news then. I think Nuno's camera's holding up for the time being. He keeps going on and off. He's put his hands together. Okay. Oh, Cindy's answering me email right now. Which of these should we have a look at first then? On the news, I'm thinking we've got sharp increase in minimum wage is not recommended. Try telling that to the people of this country who dearly need a wage rise. That's your economists, your heartless economists talking there, I suspect. Combating misinformation. There's another story. I think that's quite interesting. And a new service traveling with pets. But let's first of all look at the news headlines of the Portugal news before we go into any of those. And let's see what takes your fancy and what stimulates conversation in the chat. So interesting here on the Portugal news. Let me bring it onto the screen for you now. And you'll see there's a smiling gentleman there. This is a cheerful little story. If you want to take Dublin and Derby out, Victoria, look at this, a new service for traveling with pets. He looks really happy. The cat, not so. But that's what you'd expect, right? Look at that grumpy cat. And it's exactly what you might expect. Your cat is quite happy, sunning himself on the balcony. And then you say, I know, let's go out, shall we, in a taxi, cat? And the cat, it looks like that when it finally... please get your magnifying glass up. It's hilarious. The new pet service launched by Uber is available in the cities of Lisbon, Porto, and in the Algarve region. So Uber... taking pets, which could be poober occasionally, couldn't it? If you get some pets in, I mean, they're taking quite a risk there, and I wonder what the premium is for that possible eventuality. But that gentleman looking delighted to be taking his cat out for a ride, and in the far distance there is somebody with a dog who might be the next passenger. Presumably they don't travel together. You can't ride share cat and dog. I wouldn't have thought. A miserable story, a sad story, article, restrictions causing up to 90% revenue losses. And then in that context, people daring to say that the minimum wage rise might not be a good idea. Come on. Combating misinformation. That's an interesting... well, I'm going to run that past. I think I might come back to that and run that past the intelligent minds of the Gumpers this morning. And I know that the collective noun Gumpers, it doesn't make us sound incredibly intelligent, but that's how we like to roll, isn't it? It's like, leave people guessing. Sharp increase in minimum wage not recommended. There you go, a TPN/Lusa. Inspired article in the Portugal news there. They, of course, carrying a COVID-19 update there. Expats feeling at home in Lisbon. That's a nice article from Daisy Sampson in there too. And stem cells, always a stem cell story every, 6 months in the news? Stem cell technology bringing us hope. Any one of you in the stem cell industry, give us some examples of that. It'd be great to know, because it's one of those perennials, isn't it, in the news? Should we be afraid of AI or not? And stem cell technology. What are some of the other perennials that you see in the news? Extreme risk municipalities announced. I won't depress you with that list, but you can check for yourself on the Portugal news if you wish to. And the oldest house in Lisbon. Should we have a quick look at that to see how old it is? Look at that. The oldest house in Lisbon is more than Get off. The oldest house in Lisbon is more than 500 years old and managed to withstand the earthquake of 1755. Now, that's going to be good architecture, isn't it? We should build in a similar way. Not that I'm expecting an earthquake, but it is obviously a sturdy building. Very few buildings in Lisbon managed to survive the earthquake of November the 1st, 1755. Oh, I remember it well. While other ancient buildings have been destroyed over the years. However, the oldest building in Lisbon has been identified as being on Rua dos Cegos in Alfama. This 16th century house witnessed and withstood the earthquake that struck Lisbon over 250 years ago, thanks to its solid pillars and its location, the highest hill in the capital, according to Vortex magazine. What do they do? What does Vortex magazine do? And why is that street name blurred out opposite? Is that to stop people gawping at that? I mean, they've already given the street away. It should be easy to find, shouldn't it? But there you go. The oldest house, more than 500 years old there in Lisbon. So going back, though, what else took our fancy there before we go up to 9 o'clock and hear about insurance with Nuno? Portugal questioned over passenger testing. This always amuses me. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Minimum wage increasing from January, whether people like it or not. I understand how that can hurt small businesses, but surely it's better to find a way to do it rather than not do it and find a way of attenuating those difficulties, right? But Portugal questioned over passenger testing. How does that work? How does a country get questioned? Has a boat full of officials come to the shore of Portugal and they've stood there going, Portugal, we're questioning you over your passenger testing. What does that really mean? And why are journalists so lazy with that? I wonder. You do a good job, guys, sometimes. But this thing about, Portugal said, let's be specific about that. Let's go back to our journalistic roots at college. Who? And Portugal is not a person. When Portugal speaks, let's give credit or an attribution, at least, to the persons. It's the government, isn't it? And then it's not the government, because that's a building. It's a person in the government. And this is a great way of making politicians responsible for what they're saying, isn't it? Can you imagine if you're a politician, you want to say something, and you know that in the papers it will be reported as the government said or Portugal said, you can think, okay, what else can I get the government and Portugal to say? So come on, journalists, who is questioning? And who are they questioning with that? Okay, so there is that. Your comments, please. I do not want to leave out the Portugal resident, so let's do the Portugal resident just briefly as well before we go to our 9 o'clock theme with a couple of interesting things from the Portugal resident as well. Christmas cheer filling the streets of Albufeira, Old Town. That's what I wanted to show you here. The news in brief and latest is Depression Barra is bringing heavy rain and strong winds to Portugal. As I said before, Brussels firing a bazooka at Portugal's badly run public businesses. And the COVID-19 situation in Algarve is worrying. Can you be more specific than that? Come on. Warn health authorities. That's the sort of thing that's not helping us right now, is it? However, this is... And I was expecting to see some lovely photographs. However, you have to make do with a kind of poster logo thing at the moment. Albufeira, Natal 2021. Christmas cheer fills the streets of Albufeira, Old Town. They're not cancelling. And actually, I'll take issue with that. There was an article this morning saying that some of the Algarve municipalities are cancelling their Christmas celebrations. Sorry, not Christmas. Probably Christmas, but their New Year celebrations. But some will be going ahead with fireworks. Now, that's not a cancellation. That is an adaptation. Can we please start talking about adaptation instead of cancellation? Or are you trying to depress and upset everybody, news media? Now's the time for you to distinguish yourselves and help, not hinder and hurt people with your poor choice of vocabulary. Rant over. For the moment, anyway. Christmas cheer fills the streets of Albufeira, Old Town. Friday, December 3rd. This was last week. It marked the start of Albufeira's Christmas festivities, which you can expect giant decorations, a market selling seasonal products, an ice rink. Should we be going on ice rinks? Not without talking to Coach Turner first, I suspect. Santa's house, a Christmas train, and a lot of entertainment. There you go. And that's general enough, I think, to have something for everybody. So, Albufeira, Natal 2021. Can we have some pictures, please, from anyone who's down that way? And we will feature them in our light up Christmas spirit here. Whilst people are talking about cancelling instead of adapting, we will be talking about lighting up Christmas. Let's go to that 9 o'clock music, whereupon we will welcome Nuno to talk about insurance thereafter. Stand by. Well, actually, don't stand by. Sit back. Enjoy the whistling, everybody. That's probably not a good idea, blowing on the mic in that way. And we welcome to the screen now your favorite and mine, man from insurance, Nuno Mendes, everybody from winsurance.pt. How you doing?
Hello, good morning. Good morning, all. Let me say, Carl, that you are better and better. I don't know how you can be here all the days during the week, sometimes twice or 3 times a day, and just talk and do entertainment to the people. So congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. That's really nice of you to say so. Well, I enjoy it. That's the key to it. Absolutely enjoy being here. And, you know, because of the wonderful guests we have, including yourself, it's always a pleasure to speak to you, really. And Jacqueline was saying this, you know, there's so much more to you than insurance. I mean, insurance is that, you know, there's a lot to insurance and you cover that so ably. And I know more and more people enjoy dealing with you, how you make it easy for people. And we have wonderful conversations about other things as well, like scouting, the view behind you. You're close to the Marcos Pombal. We talked about the earthquake just now in the news, didn't we? And of course, Marcos Pombal was a key figure in rebuilding Portugal after the earthquake. So, yeah, thank you for that. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Now, once again, working from home, so until the middle of January or something like else. Let's see how the COVID numbers, it's their evolution of the numbers of
So how's that? That's a very interesting point, actually. You of course had to work from home, your company. That's a big challenge to any company culture, isn't it? How has that been for your particular team and for you to adapt to that? And was it just easy to do it again now?
Well, actually, today what we have in our agenda is that this broadcasting we do that with not all of the team, but with us together. But it's not possible. For us, this situation it was very easy, because when COVID arose and confinements and so on, we are totally prepared for work from home. The issue that concerned us the most at the beginning, not now, was the phone, the central, because we are not in the office anymore. So how we can have the calls, attend the calls, and talk to the people, and this took us like 1.5 months to have this solved.
Oh, your switchboard situation. Okay. Why did it take so
Yeah.
long? Is it a technological challenge?
Because we need a solution for that can actually work. For example, now if someone calls to the office, the call goes through our mobile phones, and someone will catch
Oh, I see.
the call. Someone
So
catch it.
there's some artificial intelligence. There's a robot helping. So it will check with all of you
Yeah,
until it gets.
exactly.
Okay, and I know
It's
telecoms
only,
will be saying, "Oh,
sorry?
we've been able to." I know that telecoms experts watching will say, "Oh, we've been able to do that for years," but I just think that's quite amazing. What a great thing that is. Okay,
Yes,
I know.
but everything else, it's we are prepared for COVID in
Excellent.
that
And
sense.
that's you all over, of course, because I mentioned you are our favorite scout leader as well, part of the scouting movement. If anybody has any questions about scouting in Portugal, which is still a very important institution and organization here in Portugal, Nuno it gives of himself and his time to the scouting movement there, which I think is an amazing thing. Any questions about that, scouting, you may ask as well. And I know, Nuno, you want to go into some of the detail, some of the specifics around insurance. And the point I wanted to make actually is this is you all over. Be prepared, the motto of the Scout movement. So here you are,
Yes,
you are prepared. And the world of insurance is all about being prepared as well. So it's as though preparation is your middle name.
No, it's not. It's not. No, but after all, it's a little bit the same because on Scouts we are providing service to the community, to the childhood, and in insurance we provide assistance and service to to their parents. So
yeah, yes, absolutely.
it's the base. It's the same mindset. The same mindset.
So true. So true. Yeah, yeah. Service to the community, of course. Yeah, as well as the preparation. So we've got a couple of questions. I know you want to do a bit of a deep dive in some of the detail because it's all about the detail, isn't it? But Jack wants to talk to you because it's a nice coincidence for them. They're going to look at a car in Lisbon later this week. They need to know about insurance. You made it very easy for me. When I was given a car not so long ago, it was great to have you at the other end of the phone and your team to help with that. And also, midlife. Sorry, go on.
No. Please, I complete after.
Thunder as well. I'd like to know the best option for private health insurance for a couple 66 and 62. We currently have Medis, and the option for 66 doesn't cover much. So this is the sort of thing you're going to be talking about today, isn't it? Is the detail of the cover, right?
Yes, it is. It is because well, an insurance is an insurance, and people usually can only compare what they see, but under the coverage there are the wordings or the full terms or the general conditions, because I think that depending of the country, the people call different things to the same, which is the conditions that regulate the coverages, and there are a lot of little issues that makes the difference on the insurance. There are some I will call now insurance or offers on the market that the insurer calls an insurance plan, but actually are discounts. It's only a discount, it's not a insurance. For example, and those things like insurance plans that are limited to certain age. Usually when we buy an insurance, no one advises us about that. It's on the full terms or the general conditions, but because we don't see this on the paper that people provide on the offer, we are not aware of those little things. And yes, it's true. I know that a lot of insurance plans stopped at 65.
Yes.
But there are today's solutions on the market.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're ready. These guys are ready. Current policy expires in a week. So there's another question. And how quickly can you arrange cover if you can find something good for Thunder and Mrs. Duck?
Well, now I'm with you, so I say that in 30 minutes I can start with that.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer. Thunder, I'm getting between you and your insurance, but rest assured. So anybody who wants to get in touch in 30 minutes or so, do they via the website or do they ring you? What do you want to do?
People can use the email imsafe@winsurance.pt, and then we distribute the work.
Okay, I am safe at that's a really nice way of putting things, isn't it? I am safe at winsurance.pt is the important thing to put.
Exactly.
Okay, that's going in the chat now for anybody who wants to jump to the front of the queue. I think Mr. and Mrs. Duck are the first, aren't they? Because they have a bit of, not urgent, but fairly a clear need, and would need some rapid cover by the sound of it there.
I'm sure that we can solve that.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. And so what else do we need to know when shopping? Because that's a key point you make there, Nuno, isn't it? Is that not all insurance policies or conditions are created equal?
Yes, that's true. And actually, it's during all life struggling with those situations, because the big problem is that when someone needs an insurance, or needs that their insurance works or be activated, people discover that they don't have the cover that they need. It's also a question of evangelizing the people.
Yeah.
Because of those little things. For example, COVID wasn't covered on any insurer or through any insurer except one. All the others exclude COVID. Now, they are starting covering first the tests, then the hospitalization. Only some of them, but they are still exclude. They still exclude pandemics.
Mm.
So if a different one arises, is excluded today. And I don't know if you heard yesterday, AstraZeneca. Someone from AstraZeneca says that another will arise. So we just don't know when or what type or what is the severity. And so we need to be aware of those little tricky points of the insurance. For example, people think that when someone buys insurance policy, they have the insurance for all the life as long as they pay the premiums. But insurers can cancel the policy at the renewal. Okay, we have some actually one insurer that can't do that, but all the others can cancel the policy. And the health insurance, when we are I don't know, 55 or 60s, we need to have a long-term mindset, because could be the last insurance that we buy. And if I'm with 60 or 65 and suddenly I face a severe disease, and I need my insurance policy, and the insurer cancel after the, I don't know, 1 year or the second year, I don't have plan B. And we know that the public healthcare system in Portugal is it's above the average, okay, but also has problems. We have for some type of disease like 2 years of waiting lists, and health just can't wait 2 years. So it's all about those situations that we like to work and to provide a service to people, to the communities.
Yeah. Absolutely. So it's really good to know about those sorts of sudden changes that can happen, or delays that might happen, based on your experience of the companies, I think, especially when you're in a new country, so we get a lot of comfort from you. And I think a few of your team are here this morning, aren't they? And
yes,
that was
it seems
here to help. Yeah, fantastic. Zoe, that's great to see you, and Sandra as well, I think. We have some questions for you. Thank you, team. Thank you, Winsurance.pt team, because it's lovely to put some faces to names as well. So these are some of the people you might be dealing with if you choose to work with Winsurance.pt. Did you want to say something about your team?
Yes. No. Just that they are the best.
Well, that's nice to hear. You hear that, guys?
Hey, not me. They are the best. They are the best.
Here as well. Fantastic. Nuno, I'm sure I've seen this question before, but can't remember the answer. Can I insure a UK registered car with you before I matriculate it? That's going to be an interesting situation, but no is the answer by the look of it.
I don't have a solution for that.
You don't, or you do? You don't.
I don't have.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's very straightforward. Because you're not allowed to insure in other dominions. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Because this is the problem people have. There will be a tricky period when my UK insurance runs out before the matriculation is complete. So I want to fill that gap. What's the general rule then? You need to insure it where the wheels are touching the road in that country.
Sorry.
You need to insure the car wherever it is based, basically, right? With a company from that country.
Yes, it's a dark zone, not only because of the matriculation, but also with the driver's license. I think 2 weeks ago, someone tells me that he has a problem because he changes their driver's license to a Portuguese one, but then they can't drive in UK with the Portuguese driver license, something like that. I know that there are gaps, and it's a dark or gray zone. A gray zone. Yes,
it is.
I know.
It is. Yes,
I know. Because it's not a question of insure abroad Portugal, because we have we work with other insurers and other brokers in UK or in Germany or Spain or France. So it's not because of that. It's because of the Portuguese legislation.
Okay. Oh, I see. Right. So it's not for lack of insurance companies. It's
no. We can't insure foreign car, a car with a matriculation abroad Portugal. We can't do that here.
Okay. I understand. I understand that, and of course, this is all the adjustment. I'll put it like this: it's the Brexit adjustment that's being made that people are having to live with some of those consequences at the moment. Okay, a solution. Matty is saying good morning to you as a fellow Tesla driver. You guys always recognise each other, I think. Do you wave at each other when you pass in the street as well? or did you flash the lights, or do you
No,
wait?
no, no, not anymore.
You're too cool.
At the
Too cool.
beginning, in the beginning, we are just a couple of guys who are driving less Teslas, and yes, people wave, but not anymore. They are
Okay.
Teslas all around, at least in Lisbon. So
It's true. It's true, isn't it? There will be a tricky period when my UK insurance runs out before the matriculation. So I want to fill that gap. So it is tricky, but Matty does have a solution. Buy another car. So he has two cars. He matriculate one while he drives the other, then matriculate the other. Car will be parked until matriculation is done and parked on off-road on the property. Yeah, I think that's the thing. You've got to keep it off the road, haven't you? Or trailer it or things like that. Nuno, I've purchased travel insurance, says Pammy. Hey, Pam, how are you this morning? Purchased travel insurance for my visa, planning to arrive in Portugal January the 28th. When is the time I should purchase that private medical insurance for the visa?
well, this is not there is not a plain answer for that, because it depends of if you are a risk taker or not, because the experience tells me that people that are living in Portugal usually buy insurance much before than the time that they arrive, because there are something called the waiting period, and the waiting period is a period during the starting date of the policy, and the date which the coverage are into place. Okay, are in place, fully in place, are fully in place.
Yes.
And this is not, and with that, I'm not saying that during the waiting period people aren't covered, because actually, usually on main policies of the insurance market, people are insured during the waiting period. What happened is that after the waiting period is when people obtain or access to the maximum benefits of the insurance. During the waiting period, people can access to the healthcare network of the insurer and beneficiate from a discount. Okay, so the policy is they are covered, but they not access to the maximum benefit as they will access after the waiting period.
Interesting. Okay, so there is that technicality.
Yeah, so people that are coming from abroad usually prefer arrive Portugal and have the policy in place and after the waiting period. So if the waiting period and the waiting period depends of the type of coverage. But usually people prefer subscribe the insurance policy 3 or 6 months before they arrive. Not only because of the D7, not only because of the D7, but also because of that. And also because people during this period travel to Portugal. So they already have, if they are here and needs some medical assistance, they can access to the healthcare network of the insurance they have.
Yes.
They bought.
Yes.
Okay. So it depends if you are a risk taker or not.
Okay, and so you allow for that. You've got to have your insurance for the D7 conditions, but bear in mind what I'm saying there. To make sure you get all the benefits, you might want a longer or be aware of the settling in period of the insurance policy. That had not occurred to me. That's why you're here. That's fantastic. Good to know.
Yes. One thing are the formalities for the D7, for example. The other is how we face or how we act facing risk.
Yeah.
And this is a personal decision. It varies from all of us.
Yes, but it's good to know that as well, though, isn't it? I mean, some people might not understand fully the risk they're taking by not taking it out earlier rather than later. So there you go. Thank you. That's why he's here, everybody. Good morning, beautiful world, from Gary Austin. Good morning to you as well, beautiful. While he's here, this is his favorite coffee shop. And I'm going to just take your comment off the screen so we can see it. Which Portuguese town is this, everybody? I'm not putting you on the spot, Nuno, don't worry.
Tomorrow? It can be tomorrow.
That's a very good guess. We will answer that. We will answer that in just a moment. But an extremely good guess. And Gary likes to have his, as a clue for you, Gary likes to have his coffee in paradise. Do you know the name of the town? And do you know, for extra points, the name of the particular cafe that he likes? With a little cheirinho in there, if you know what I mean. I think they do that especially well in there.
You are speaking very well Portuguese.
Well, yes, I may be drinking very well Portuguese. Not until July. You lovely people, this community feels like home to me, and as home is where one's family is. In a sense, this is sort of your home too. At least I try to make that possible. We know that, João F. Thank you for your correspondence, and não faz mal. It's great to be speaking to you, and all is well as far as I'm concerned here on the Good Morning Portugal show from expatsportugal.com. Khadija is here as well. Rebel Mama is in the house, everybody. And Sandra saying, yes, team insurance. Fantastic. And look, I want to stop this. I'm going to nip this in the bud. Viva Heron, viva a revolution. Don't be encouraging Michael Heron. And thanks, Carl, from there as well. And de nada. So a great question here from Catherine Whitby. Bon dia, Carl and Nuno. We will try for D7 visas next year. We'll be 66 and 71 when we all do that. Is it possible to get coverage at our ages? Great question, because you were saying 65 is a limit for some policies.
Yes, it's possible. We have solutions for that.
No all right, problem. Catherine. Get in touch. So that's a very straightforward answer. That's good to hear. Nuno, I've passed your details on to Philip Mills of Les Mills Gyms fame. Oh, there you go. So maybe we shouldn't give too much personal information away of that kind. Too late, though. You can hire a car in UK using a Portuguese license, says Rugby Colin there. Very good to know. Yeah, interesting. And one of the problems, of course, with the license exchange is that you lose some of your categories of driving. That's one of the things that we're learning in the Brexit. Did you call it the dark period? No, that you weren't referring to Brexit when you called it a dark place. But some are experiencing it like that. I think the UK insurers won't insure the car if I'm not a UK resident anymore.
Yes. That's true.
That is true. Okay. And looking on the UK government website, you can drive it in the UK with an EU license, plus the appropriate insurance green card. Thank you very much for that, Magdalena. Very helpful. Yeah, the Teslarati. Is that what you guys call yourselves? The Teslarati?
No. At all.
Not Nuno. Midlife crisis. They used to allow you 3 months in the UK insurance before matriculation, but no more, it would seem. When people arrive in Portugal, you must find the procedures for changing driving license. Yeah, for the Brits, they've extended it for another 12 months, I think, because there's so much chaos with that. You do have to exchange.
Yes.
If you're British or if you're American or anyone, you have to exchange your driving license. A little bit more grace than the Brits.
And Portuguese authorities are taking too long on the process of changing the driver license. Too long.
Yeah. So they've extended it, haven't they? There are some insurance companies, says William, in the UK that give short-term insurance plans in situations like this. So check with your broker. That's going to be a specialist thing over there in Portugal, in UK. I mean, before you come to Portugal. And if you do find somebody good, please put that information on the forum. That's going to be really helpful to other people. Or come back here and tell us. Please do.
Yes, but once again, is not only a question of the nationality of the matriculation, is the combination between the plate and the driver's license. So if you are a resident in Portugal, even if you are English, if you don't live in UK anymore and you have a Portuguese driver license, I believe that you can't insure the car in UK.
Okay.
I believe.
All right. Yep.
So it's
The
a
grey area. We're going right into it today. Sandra, thank you for this. You can contact us by WhatsApp as well, the Winsurance team. And we've heard how that works. It will keep ringing around the team until somebody answers there if they're busy. So there you go, 213-714-164 and a Portugal country code, should you need it, of 351. Oh, yeah, the guess for this cafe. Good guess in the comments there. Absolutely right. It is Cafe Paraíso, and it is in, absolutely right as well, Nuno, it's in Tamar. And that is Garvo's favorite cafe there. That street is very wonderful, actually. A great place to. I've had a lovely lunch there, and you can walk up to the convent at the top, and that's a great place to base yourself for exploration of all of Tamar. Fantastic town. Are you a fan of Tamar?
I can confess to you that if I need to choose a location different from Lisbon to live in Portugal, I believe that I will choose Tamar.
Wow, there's high praise. Okay, yeah. So this is always difficult for people, when they're deciding where to live in Portugal. They think, okay, well, I've narrowed it down now to 27 places, but they haven't thought of Tamar yet, so they've got to add that number 28 of the places to consider.
Yes, I love Tamar. I love Tamar.
Okay, and very kind, Catherine. It's a fantastic town. We love it there, absolutely. Mrs. M would live there too. Gets very hot in the summer. Yes, Carl wants some secret or method in learning to speak Portuguese. I think it's food, actually, and sociability. Just wanting to get all of my best Portuguese, if I can make that assessment of myself, is from being in cafes and restaurants. And this is what this is how I incentivize my children to learn as well. If they want some sweets or a cake, they can have whatever they like as long as they go and order it themselves. And that's been so great for the kids to do that. So I urge you all to do that as well. Use the same tactic. Incentivize yourselves with coffee and sweet and tasty things, and do it in Portuguese. I get 90 days EU cover included in my insurance, and I think I can green card it until the end of my policy for an extra charge. But it's the renewal that's the problem, is Eusebio's continuing challenge here. And I could go on. Says Joao F. I could not go on without saying hello to you two. You're the best. Look at that. And in case you're wondering who is being referred to there, it is this lovely lady here. We met up on Sunday, Cindy B, the host of our wonderful living room and solos communities on the forum and on Zoom. Coming to a computer near you soon. If you want to be involved in that, get in touch with Cindy B on the forum, please. Okay, let's see if we've got any more questions. Oh, we've got a Jazz Funk track of the day. It's Lenny White. Didn't know about love till I found you. I'm not sure if he's referring to you then, Nuno, but he might be a very happy Winsurance customer and inspired to say such a thing. I first heard this in 1983 on a Case to Song Weekender radio. Great track, reminds me of Good Morning Portugal. I've got to listen to that after the show. Cheers, Chris. Good thing my driver's license is a European one. No need to change, I guess. That's right. You don't have to. I said everyone has to exchange. You don't have. If you already have an EU driver's license, you don't have to exchange for a Portuguese one. Midlife crisis. PM me. I have a good solution for you. Look at that. Great work in the community. Can't name you all, but you are all equally important, says Joao F. Good on you, mate. Morning, all bon dia. Been a bit busy here in the Algarve. Marilyn is back in Oxford and almost back to normal. Well, that's great to hear that Mrs. Henry is well, and good to hear from you as well, Nigel, there. And Catherine, yeah, we do have a Memrise group as well. 15 minutes a day, of course, and join the Memrise group and get yourself in the cafes. I agree. Speaking to people is the best, and Pimsleur works well also. It's an incredible name, isn't it, Pimsleur? Okay, have we missed anything, Nuno? Because I know you wanted to get into the detail. Anything else that people should be looking out for, should be aware of, that we've not discussed so far?
Yes, just go to the general conditions or full terms or wordings and search for the exclusions.
Okay.
And you will be very surprised, I believe.
All right. So So not just the features, not just the features. You want to be looking at the exclusions to really educate yourself on your policy. Right. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
Okay. And all kinds of insurance, because really we've talked about health and we've talked about cars this morning. But you do, I mean, you as from our conversations that we've had before, I know you can pretty much insure anything, can't you?
Well, not anything, but that is a very wide spectrum of risks that we can provide cover.
Okay, fantastic. All right. There's the website, winsurance.pt. Anything else that we need to tell people? Well, apart from drop your line after the show.
No, just if I know that if someone comes to a different country with a different language, it's difficult to go deep on different issues. And regarding insurance, and I'm not talking only about doing business. I'm talking about assistance, provide assistance and help people. You can call me and I can clarify the questions you have, and it's okay. So
That's
it's
tremendous.
about
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I can attest to that, and I know a lot of other people can here. Health insurance we have, and car insurance. He's slowly insuring everything in our lives. Is Nuno and the Winsurance.pt team. So we've had Zay here, we've had Sandra and Ruta. Did I miss anybody from the team? I think that's those are members. Zay as well. Yeah, of course. Thank you all of you for being here this morning, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Anything in the scouting calendar coming up? Is it important at Christmas for the scouts?
Yes, but I cancel the camping with the youngers because I'm with the children between 6 and 9, and as you know, COVID numbers are higher on those ages. And I know that we are allowed to go camping with them, but and this is a personal decision. Don't go camping with the youngers. So we have activities outside in Monsanto, which is a great place to do outside activities in Lisbon. But not sleeping and go camping. No, not now.
I mean, you know, some people are going to be thinking, why on earth would you go camping in the winter anyway? Where do you guys go camping at Christmas?
Well, first of all, I hate camping. I hate camping.
Really?
Yes. On the traditional way of thinking of the traditional way that people go camping, but I just love go to the bushes and have very little, and with very little do a lot. It occurs to me once I don't have spoon. I forgot to put the spoon in my backpack, and I just do one there. So I love this approach of camping with a lot of bushcraft. I don't know if you are aware of what is bushcraft.
Definitely.
Yes. Okay. So this in this view, I love camping. On the traditional way that people go camping, I hate camping. Go there and stay there.
You're real back to basics, back to nature sort of stuff. Well, you're the right guy to be in on a desert island with. You can make your own spoon. I'm very impressed.
Yeah. So and with the children, it's very grateful. It's fulfilled. I feel fulfilled. See that they go more further that they usually go before they are with us, because our main objective is develop their capacities of leadership, autonomy, teamwork. So the other and doing this on the bushes, I just love that.
It's the real test, isn't it? Fantastic. Against the backdrop of Mother Nature. What a lovely moment to end on. You know you're in capable hands when a man can make his own spoon. Nuno, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you all. Have a great day and stay safe.
What to do. Yeah, absolutely. You know how to get in touch there. Go to the website or you scroll back through and you can find the WhatsApp number there. Cheers, Nuno. Take care. Bye for now. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
There he goes. There's Nuno. And yeah, we're live from Lisbon there, very close to the Marcos Pombal monument in the center of things, in the heart of Portugal, in the heart of Lisbon, of course. Not the heart of Portugal. That's a contentious issue. I'm thinking Coimbra is more the heart of Portugal, but I probably wouldn't spark up another conversation with Nuno of that kind. We'll save that for another time. Okay, so what's being said in the comments? Got some lovely, a lovely video, Christmas video. We're lighting up Christmas, folks. I need to download a video, and you know I always need to play a little bit of them to download them. So you might hear a little bit of a teaser right now. Are you hearing that? It's a little Christmas.
Merry Christmas from Portimao.
Merry Christmas from Portimao. That's coming up in a little while. We've got to put the light up Christmas banner on, haven't we? So I hope you got my note, journalists, earlier on. Not cancelling Christmas, adapting Christmas if we must. Okay, really important to be the language that we're using, I think, at the moment, especially for the kids, the youngsters that, of course, Nuno was talking about there. So hashtag light up Christmas for the rest of the show. What's going on for you? And we've got some beautiful pickies to share. If we go to Belfast now, we've got a little bit of insider information. Santa has been spotted over there in Belfast. Wonder how much of this I can actually show. There are the preparations for a trip out. Santa's gear has been spotted there, and including, I think, as well, the ho 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 bells. Deagle, did you spot Santa, or are you helping? Are you one of the elves this year, Deagle? But that's lovely to see, isn't it? A rare glimpse of Santa's probably got wet in the snow, and he's having to dry his kit out and is wandering about in his string vest and boxers. Whilst that's going on there. But that's a lovely behind the scenes picky to see. Oh, I don't think we showed this. Our mate Clive. We talked about, look at that original Soul Boy t-shirt, absolutely. And featuring there the Tomorrow magazine. It was new to me. It's been around for ages, and hopefully we'll speak to the owner or the editor soon. Community magazine for the Algarve, and there's Clive proudly sporting a copy. I showed a few of these during a kind of montage musical montage. That's Carlos's very Christmassy scene. Don't worry, folks, that's not Portugal. That's North Dakota there. And Suze, your lovely handiwork that you're creating up there in Finland. We have shown these pics, but I didn't give them appropriate credit yesterday. And a usual drill applies. If you have sent me pics and I haven't shown them, it's fine to send me a come on, Munts, and get your act together. Where's my pictures? Remind me on WhatsApp. We're getting a high volume of pickies, which I'm not complaining about. I just don't want to miss any of them. But this is the lovely handiwork of Suze, I think, for the Christmas market. Whose was this one? I think that's the United States. That's possibly from Lisa there. Was that Palo Alto? I think. And we showed this yesterday in our montage. Lisa, do let me know if you want to take credit for that. Look at this. This is the Agada. I'm not sure what's occurring that way in terms of adaptation, but the Agada Christmas event is incredible. It's the biggest Santa I've ever seen in my life. Pai Natal do Mundo. So the Father Christmas of the world there. And it's huge. It's a really great thing to take kids to. and I hope it's in full force, or a suitable adaptation has been made for the times we're living in. But that's a great. Agada is beautiful. In case you don't know, Agada is the town with the famous for its umbrellas. And I know a lot of Portuguese towns are using that motif now. You know, the multicolored umbrellas. But I think Agada, very arty town, very kind of bohemian atmosphere, and they go overboard. I mean, you'll see most Portuguese villages, towns, and cities are doing some great stuff for Christmas, but they go overboard with their artistic expression for Christmas, as they do for the whole year. This was a beautiful picture sent in yesterday. This is from Rebel Mama, a slightly different Principio nativity scene there, and I've got to find out, if I scroll back through, I'll find out where that came from. But thank you very much to you, Rebel Mama, for that one. And that was spotted in Nazaré, everybody, that VW camper with the festivity family in there. That's fantastic as well. This one, somebody's going to have to claim this. Was this one from you, Jean, or from you, Victoria? I think that's down south in the Algarve. We're lighting up Christmas, everybody. Don't forget to get these in. We're not letting our spirits diminish or go dark here for the Christmas. And if that happens to anyone on a personal basis, you know where we are to give you a bit of a lift. Whilst that lovely picture and symbol, quite a simple tree that, isn't it? But whilst that's on the screen there, let's go to a few of your comments. Just when you think you got Portuguese a little bit, you order a tuna baguette and end up with a prawn salad. Okay, back to the drawing board and the translations for you, Gary, the forecasting. Portuguese, I have an app for my phone, and now I can talk to my next doors and even tell jokes between the app and the words I already know. And isn't that lovely? You know you're getting somewhere where you can make other people laugh in a language, not just because they're laughing at you, but actually laughing with you there. Pimsleur available in a lot of American libraries. Is that right? Suze, people in from the US can get it through most libraries for free if they have a library card, the old Pimsleur. And Joao, please forgive me. Nothing to forgive, Joao, honestly, for not having greeted Carl Munson. No, it's assumed. The bonhomie is assumed here on the show, so don't you worry about that. And his wonderful guest of today's show, a good man to keep indeed, Joao F. Bigging up Nuno there, quite rightly so. If for those of you who weren't here earlier on, this is this Thursday's webinar, Cost of Living in Portugal, excuse me, supermarket shopping. That's 7:30 this coming Thursday, of course. And there's Deagle's Christmas song. Let me just take off your comment there for a moment, Joao. In case you didn't screenshot it earlier, there is the Christmas song that certainly Deagle's giving it a bash. What's the tune? Do you want to sing into WhatsApp and give us the tune on that, Deagle? Or do you not want to escalate things to that level? I'll give it a go if you won't. But is it to the tune, a familiar Christmas tune that we might know? Would like to know about that, if you will. And let's see, what else have we got? We've got Tamar and the lovely Cafe Paris. So just to confirm that, in case you missed it, that is Tamar with the convent up on the hill and that beautiful street, that iconic street, where, of course, every 4 years, the Tabuleiros Festival takes place, which is an amazing spectacle here in Portugal. And, of course, look, the center, is that the centre spread of the farm book? Look at that. And what I want you to do, another screenshot here to recognize the creatures that are featured in the book. Where's that front cover gone? Oh, here it is. Can you take a shot of that? Or even now, make a guess if you want. How many of those can you get? Tractor's a tricky one, isn't it? So what have we got there? 12 images. What have we got on the screen there? Practice your Portuguese. See how you get on with that. Okay, I've got a little video for you now as well. I think we might go back to some of that news as we roll up to the 10 o'clock hour this morning. But I've got a video to play you first from Victoria, and I'll have a check in my WhatsApp, see if anything else has come through. This is a happy Christmas from Portimao to us from Victoria. Thank you so much for being so thoughtful and sending this in to us, Victoria. Albufeira, Christmas scenario, Christmas festivities. If you're in Albufeira or near, please take some photos of us of the Christmas festivities there. That looks like a good one. Here's the little train for you.
Merry Christmas from Portimao. Feliz Natal from Portimao.
Oh, that really did it for me there. Did it for you? That was really lovely. If that didn't melt your heart a little bit, we've got to do some extra work on you. But that really moved me. It was lovely to see that, especially the family waving to Victoria and her fantastic festive catchphrase, Feliz Natal from Portimao. Very good. Showing some grasp of the lingo there. This is one of my worries about coming to live in Portugal, and that's when we need to apply for each and every insurance, driving license, and D7 application. Well, worry no more. Nuno and team can guide you through that. And I wonder what sort of driving license you might need to drive that land train. I quite fancy that. It looks like fun, doesn't it? Probably a special category on a license. Don't worry, you can do it with the help of this great community. Others have done it before you. Just ask for help. That's the thing, isn't it? Ask for help. And I'm sure Gary won't hold back in seeking the guidance he needs. And we'll be here to give it to you, Gary. I'm also continuing to butcher the language, even when they speak it to me in English, says James. Oh, I think you underestimate your capabilities, sir, there. My idea, going back to camping and bushcraft, my idea of camping is opening the window. And camping in winter, thank you for that, Thunder. Camping in winter, I do it in my Tesla with camp mode. Oh, I say camp mode. That sounds like fun, doesn't it? It's not camping unless you have to bury your poo. So there you go. I'm sure Nuno would agree with that. Is that the definition? It's not just opening your window or flicking a switch on your Tesla. It is dealing with the business end of things, literally, as well. The way you write it too is becoming your language too, says Joao to James. See, and Sandra shouting out for Nuno there. He really encourages the kids. I love it. Those skills that they're learning on Scout Camp are incredible, aren't they? What was it? Autonomy, teamwork, leadership. I mean, fantastic. Ciao Nuno from Francis as well, and Tamati. Exactly, that's wrong with the other camping. People want to bring their TV and radio. Lol. Yes. I could make a joke about TV and waste products, couldn't I? Leave it at home, folks. The TV, that is, and enjoy nature. Come on. I know what you mean. I too am getting too old for extreme camping adventures. Says, but you know, is anyone too old for extreme camping adventures? Nuno makes it sound like such fun. You forget, once you're whittling a spoon, you forget about how cold and wet it is, I'm sure, as you're standing there with your Aran sweater on and your lederhosen or however is the most practical outfit for bushcraft. Southwester. João and Antonio, does Portugal make chocolate? That's a good question. I'm going to just leave that hanging there for a moment. That sounds like a little bit of a cry from the heart, maybe, as well. It's like, I've just suddenly realized, am I going to get decent chocolate in Portugal? I'll let them answer that. UK-approved drug Sotrovimab, maybe, effective against all Omicron mutations. People told not to take lateral flow in cold. Does it make a difference if you take the lateral flow test in cold conditions or while you've got one? I'm not sure what you mean there, Chris. Does Nuno have a contact number? I live in Marcos de Pombal and I'd like to connect. Just open the window and shout out for him, and we'll listen back for him to holler back. It's in the comments here. Nuno, if somebody is still here and could give Catherine that number, that would be really great. Another good reason for me waiting for EU membership is so that I can camp my way around Portugal till I decide where to settle and won't need 1 year lease as required by my D7. I love my little van. So you will need a 1 year lease. You've got to have an address. I don't think camping your way around. Oh, I see. If you don't do the D7, you won't need a 1 year lease, of course. Sue's there. So yeah, go the EU way. So excited about Christmas this year. I'm so grateful for so much more this year. Renee, that is exactly the sort of spirit we are looking for here on the Good Morning Portugal show, as we do our best, and this community does its best to light up Christmas. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So excited with 5 hand claps there. Yes, of course we have chocolate factories and brands, Antonio F. And you can buy, I don't know what forgive me, Americans, but I don't think your chocolate is up to much. Having tried the Hershey bar and some of your other chocolate things. Oreos, what's that about? Inoffensively, just talking about tasting biscuits and chocolate, and I know that can get quite serious for people. So no offense, men, but British chocolate. There's something. I mean, is it just because I grew up with it? I'm not sure. Oh, and for you, Gary, if you're still listening, I've got something to tell you about the. Do you remember? I need to ask you something first. Do you remember the marathon advert with the cheerleaders on it? Got something to tell you about that. But British chocolate, Twixes, Snickers bars, that sort of thing. That's better, I think, than American chocolate. And then, of course, you come to Europe. I was talking to my kids about this. European chocolate, there I go. Continental European chocolate, better than the British. I think that's the pecking order. And Portugal, of course, is in there somewhere with that. I'd like to know more about the top chocolatiers of Portugal. Is there a top brand, Antonio F? Can you tell us something that we should be looking out for? That looks like the Father Christmas of disco. Why was that? Is it because of the jingly bells that went with it there? It's the Michael Jackson white glove, isn't it? Chamon! Feliz Natal, everybody. I see. Yes, very good, Francis. Well observed there. And Rugby Colin's very happy to help Eusebio, and his handle on Expats Portugal is Pip Finder, of course. People have these handles, don't they? Which you want to be found, and then we have these really obscure names. It's funny, isn't it? Okay, just messaged the wrong person. Well, making a new friend there. That's fantastic. Funny that the light tree has a pentagon on top instead of a star. Well spotted, Matty. Christmas, such time of hope and tidings of great joy that does not depend on any feelings. It just is. Okay, fair enough. Nice to feel it as well, though, right? And get into the mood and the spirit. My van isn't obvious as a camper. It looks like a worker's van. Has it got paint dribbling down the back and a load of receipts on the dashboard? Is that how you do it? Is that how to create that look? I wonder. Yes, there is a Portuguese chocolate. The most well-known brand is Regina, but I think Tavares make much better in the 60s and 70s, though. Thank you, João F, for that. Tavares, of course, some will know as a disco band. A few disco themes ongoing this morning. Portimao mass transit system looks a little undercooked. Come on, Eusebio. Thank you for that. And mind that revolutionary talk in the comments. Bon dia, everyone from Pedro Gomes. I've been watching this show for months now, but just decided to stop lurking. Well, thank you for not lurking. You're most welcome. And come on, everybody. Please, can everybody say hello to Pedro? Yes, of course. Look, Thunder first to do that. Well done. We can do it. Lighting up Christmas. I think we're talking about that. And a bon dia to you, Pedro, from Michelle as well. Gary, if you are in the US, you need to worry more about the FBI report and the apostille. So there you go. Think yourself lucky, because he's not. He's coming from the UK. They take forever. The stuff here is easy. So there you go. And Nuno, I think, responding to the comment, he obviously, hopefully 2 spoons, Nuno. 2 spoons, Mendes. Paul Pimsler was one time head of international linguistics. I learned fast from his language. Oh, it's an actual person, is it, Paul Pimsler? It seems this, and he's not French at all by the sound of it. It seems this is the latest news post on Sky News this morning. Be careful in there, Chris. Imperial South African founded in 1932. Positions itself as the leading Portuguese chocolate manufacturer. Imperial, there you go. That's good in so many ways, isn't it? Just shout out Imperial and you're going to get a beer or some chocolate. Fantastic. American chocolate is mostly milk with a slight chocolate flavoring. Love Green and Blacks. So Green and Blacks, I think, a global brand, isn't it? That is available here. Nice chocolate conversation here. The Portuguese chocolate brands, Imperial, Jubileu, Pintarolas. I love that. That's something we discovered here with the kids. Pintarolas and Allegro were bought by a Spanish company. No! Can we have another Restauração Day when the Portuguese companies are brought back properly to Portugal? There's me getting all nationalistic on behalf of Portugal. No, Carl. Factory chocolate is horrible in the UK or the US maybe. Hold on a minute. Have I caused offence there about American chocolate? I appreciate the all-inclusive Christmas decorations around here. Yes, some of us don't celebrate Christmas. Bosh festus. Good parties. Yes. Okay, fair enough. I mean it in the broadest sense, Rebel Mama. I'm not trying to drive you into a celebration that you do not wish to take part in. That has a resonance with something else that's going on at the moment, isn't it? Freedom to choose. Absolutely. And we are being very free in our expression of goodwill and good cheer and positivity at this time of year. Okay. And, not least because in the most real sense, and I think Nuno will appreciate this, as a bushcraft, as a natural person, this is the dark time of nature of the year, isn't it, for us in the Northern Hemisphere? So the dark days are going to give way to lighter days. Isn't that alone for our animal bodies and our animal selves enough reason to celebrate and give thanks? Hershey bars are like chocolate wax. Yes, Euro chocolates are far superior, says Suze there. And Pete Bleach is here. Mum, and the problem is, as a fisherman, that many campers don't bury it, and you'll find it around honestly, some people are trying to have their breakfast, Pete. USA, one must select small specialist chocolate makers, of course. I am American, and our chocolates don't compare to European in my option. European is better. Thank you, Catherine, for that validation. Imperial.pt, if you want to look that up. That's probably a good backstory to that, isn't there, for chocolate? Father Christmas on the poster for the large Father Christmas, not the Michael Jackson glove, as it turns out. Oh, I see. He's staying alive, isn't he? Ha, 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 ha. Do you want me singing that children's nursery rhyme after that? I think not. With Hershey's, buying Cadbury's, you notice the difference with some horrible consequences, both in terms of quality and shrinkage. It's cold temperatures, Pete, affects us all, doesn't it, when you get to a certain age? Question about insurance. Oh, no, sorry, Bell. Is it not the case that those with insurance policies coming from the EU countries cannot be refused insurance for any pre-existing health conditions or penalised in terms of higher insurances when buying a policy in Portugal? Best I can do for you is wait till Nuno's here again, but you probably want a quicker answer than that. Take it to the forum, or maybe one of the team will pick that up if you put your details in there that you would be prepared to give out on air, or give them a call. Give the office a call, Bell, and have a chat with them directly. Benvindo, welcome to Pedro there, who's been a lurker, but is now fully in the spotlight of the Good Morning Portugal, the bosom and the spotlight of the Good Morning Portugal community. There is an annual chocolate festival in Óbidos, of course, and there's the Sweet Festival that you very kindly sent us photos of in Alcobaster as well. Thanks for that, Pam. Oh, Pam, that is too good. So Michelle's happy now. And Tavares was another of those stupid word changes made by the phone software after I wrote tasted. Okay, thanks, Joao, for that. A day that will live in infamy. Is this the attack on Pearl Harbor, 7th of December, 1941? My goodness. Smash it, Gumpers! We're making our way into the day, everybody. If you want to smash it now. Almost all insurers refuse, but we have alternatives. This is about pre-existing conditions, I think. Thanks, Nuno. Still working hard behind the scenes. Carl, yes, love the pagan traditions of lights and trees. No problem with solstice, and honestly, no problem with Christmas. Just so overwhelming in the capitalist USA. Yes, we can breathe out, can't we? And we know that there is definitely the capitalist influence. It's a capitalist society here in Portugal, but not quite to the same extent, which comes as a great relief to many of us. Pete Stewart, only 3 weeks to the turn. While the rain and wind is starting to blow hard in here in a barabashed Belfast. And look, there you go. If you want to ring Nuno, there are the details on the screen there. And Jacqueline Brown with a warm welcome for Pedro as well. I'll leave Nuno's number on at the end. Don't worry. We had muscatel with some chocolates and cake made by Owen the other night. And now I understand the concept because the taste is a real wow moment. Stop it coming on here saying things like that when we can't do the same, Gary Austin. Don't worry about the cold, Carl. We all know you are a grower, not a shower. And he is not referring to my happy homesteading aspirations there. Winter isn't necessarily a dark day period. At least not to me, says Joab. Misty landscapes can be rather beautiful. Oh, absolutely. Yes. No, for sure. The seasons of mists and mellow fruitfulness, absolutely beautiful, right? And the contrast and the changes. And we know it can get to, the seasonal affective disorder. It can get to people, can't it? And isn't it lovely to have the longer days? Thank you very much, Pedro, for outing yourself this morning. Great to have your company. You know what to do now. No more lurking for you, sir. Christmas is a business for me. Winter solstice is what I'm waiting for. Days getting longer. Then January 2nd to get on with it. Get on with it, says Sue's there. And Cindy B, another welcome for our new friend, who we didn't know we had until he exposed himself in the chat, if you know what I mean. Thank you, Pedro. Thank you, Nuno. Thank you, the whole Winsurance team. Been fantastic this morning. I'm going to be showing that Portimao mass transit a festive video again. Not right now, but we've got that in the library now. That really lifted my my heart this morning. Thank you, Victoria, for doing that. Everybody else, come on, send those pics in. Send those festive light up Christmas pics in, if you will. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow when the doc returns. Ask anything about Portugal Wednesday. And the doc will be here live from Leiria. Ciao, ciao. Bye for now. Até já. Até a próxima. Até amanhã.